What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Hip
and Hers.
I told you I'm not here to mess around, and you've been acting too mysterious.
On today's episode, we'll be talking about how we pretty much manifested our separation, almost divorce, just through things we may have said, listened to, just how we just kept on letting it replay.
Yeah, the stuff that we put out into the atmosphere. So for those of you all who may not know, Hib and I did separate in 2019. We separated August of 2019 until pretty much July 2020.
Almost a year.
And so, but like when COVID came, March 2020, we pretty much began like trying to rekindle things. And so when COVID came, that's kind of like our blessing in disguise. It shut everything down, and so we quarantined together. So that was kind of like the beginning of us trying to rebuild our relationship. Right. So God willing, if he bless us to see October 6th this year, we will be celebrating 10 years married. All right, so
10 big ones.
10 big ones, and it's gonna be a celebration. We're planning something really big. So yeah, y'all just rock with us until that time. But yeah, I talk about our separation in my book in my reflection book journal. It's called Chronicles of a Broken Hot Girl.
Go get that, John.
Yes, go get that. Please go get that. It's on Amazon. And I kind of talk about the different stages I went through dealing with the separation on my end, and just my thought process and what I needed to go through, what I did go through. So yes, we separated in August of 2019. We was just about to celebrate our 7th year of being married. So I guess that was the end of that chapter, and we were able to celebrate year 8, new beginnings. So we decided to call this video how we manifested our divorce or separation, because earlier in our marriage we used to always say stuff like, you mine till you ain't. If we ever break
jokingly,
up, yeah, jokingly, you mine till you ain't. And he would always say like, if we broke up, I'm gonna be hiding in your bushes. Like, we would just jokingly say stuff like that, but literally we would always say that, like, if this happened, you gonna do this, or if we broke up, like, you gonna do this. And
saying stuff like, if I break up, would you do ABC?
Yeah.
Or how would you move about blase blase? And so like they said, we didn't know that we were speaking it out, because we were just joking, but really, in a sense, that's what we were doing. And even the months leading up to the separation, we were in a rough spot. And I know through the songs that I would listen to, some of them, it was just like, they can be a manifestation too, because I was listening to Walk Away from Love, Neither One of Us, stuff like that. And it's just like, that's what was kind of replaying over and over again. It was like, okay, well, that's what I'm finna do. Neither one of us want to do it, want to say it. I just walk away from it.
Yeah.
But I still listen to those songs now, but not like in the same aspect that I did then, and not over and over again. Now it's just like, it come on when it come on. Then I was going to look for it, throw it on, and there are things that we do, through a day-to-day life routine that is a manifestation. Whether you don't have to just say it, it's doing it too. Listening to stuff. That stuff is becomes embedded into your brain, and it's just, we have to be mindful of those things.
Yeah, and like piggybacking off of that, like on a spiritual aspect, well, physical, as well. You are what you eat. What you consume is how how it comes out in the physical realm. So if you're eating bad, you're going to gain weight, or you might not be healthy. But on the spiritual side, what you think and what you feed into your body is what consumes you, and it comes out in a physical or verbal or, you know, your actions. And so when he says that, it's just like, if you're constantly feeding your mind, you know, neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye. Like, we kind of held on during those last months. It was very rough, but, you know, we were like, okay, we just gonna do what we gotta do when we can, you know, but we still living together. So it was like, of course, you know, we still doing what we do, but it was just like, we know it's pretty much a wrap, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, I would listen to Resentment, Beyonce, like, on repeat, like, back to back. And so it was just like, we literally were roommates at that point. Like, he had moved out the room, went into the guest room. I was in our room. He would be up front all day. I would be in the back all day. But yeah, just like things that we listened to, we practically became roommates. And then at one point we were like, okay, you know, let's make it work. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. Literally, like, we couldn't stand looking at each other at that point. It had got to a point where, like, he would be mean and rude, and I had it, so I was just going off. And yeah, it definitely became a toxic environment. And so once we finally separated, oddly, that's when we kind of began rebuilding our friendship.
And that's what was missing, the friendship.
Yeah.
Because, we were still husband and wife, but it was just like, we would see each other in passing and just keep on going. Like, we would sit in the room with even, like they said, like, we slept in different rooms. We stayed in different rooms during the day. But even when we were in the same room, it was like, it felt like we was in different rooms. We weren't looking at each other, talking to each other. We interact with the boys, and that would be it. Like, and, you know, so it's just, it was just, like they said, just a toxic environment. Especially to have the kids around. Like, they might not have said anything, but I'm pretty sure they noticed mom and dad ain't talking. Like, what's up? And then during the separation, I'm sure it was hard. I asked them, I know for sure, you know, how they felt about it. And they liked having two homes. But other than that, like, they didn't say, they was just like, they was okay. But if I could go back and do it over, I definitely wouldn't put them through that. And I would have worked harder to make sure that we would have got better then versus having to go through the whole separation, almost a year, and just having to do all that. But like they said, COVID was really a blessing in disguise, you know, where, like, I had COVID, so I know what it feels like, you know, so I know it's not just it's not a good thing, but for us, it kind of was, because without COVID, we probably wouldn't even be sitting right here in front of y'all right now.
No. And I think we told this story. If y'all hear fireworks, our house is like paper thin, so you can hear everything. Our neighbors and community still think it's the 4th, so and it's crazy. They haven't even really been popping it.
They ain't popped them just since the 5th.
So yeah, sorry. But I think we told this story in one of our other videos, maybe our love story. But if not, I'll just refresh y'all. So he filed for divorce, and we had signed all the paperwork. We went to a notary, signed all the paperwork. He dropped it off. We had a court date. April 14th was the court date. Literally, COVID came, shut everything down. He ended up the day before our court date, because everything was still closed down. So the day before our court date, where everything was going to be legal, like we were going to legally be divorced, he called the county clerk or whatever the court is. He called them to see if they would be open. Whoever answered, they said yes. So he's at my house because I had got a new spot. So we were pretty much like together because we were, like I said, we were quarantining together. So I would be at his house, he would be at my house. We would go like back and forth. And so we were at my house, and he was like, so they said they was gonna be open, and you know, the day of, we was just like, so we finna do this? Like, yeah, we signed the last little paperwork. No, got a little hug in. He went down there, and I don't know what I was thinking like the whole time. I can't remember, but I was just like, probably sad. I would imagine being sad. And like, he came back and he was just like, they closed. Like, they pushed all the court dates back. And so like, we kind of just like looked at each other, like hugged, said we was gonna work it out. And here we are.
Right. And
here we
then,
are.
You know, and that's all COVID. Because if it weren't for COVID, them folks would have been closed. And like,
Yeah.
we would have been Mr. Hibbler and Miss Woods.
Because I was getting my last name back. Okay.
I don't know why, but you know, anyway. But here we are. You know, we strive through, we push through. We are definitely different people. I know Bay is for sure. Like, she is definitely different from where we were at first. We have a friendship. Like, I feel like you can't have a relationship without some type of friendship.
Right.
And to not have a friendship, not have a trust, like, man, it was hard. It was very hard. There would be times where I'd be like, dang, I don't think I even want to go to the house right now. Like, and you know, it was just like that. But like Bay said, like, I did get kind of mean just a little bit, and you know, and I think even just thinking back now, I think that was like me just trying to put up a facade, really, because I didn't want to be mean. I don't think I was trying to be mean, but it was like, okay, this is what we doing. This is what we doing. Ain't no need to just be constantly just faking the funk. But
yeah, I wanted to do, bing, bing, bing.
But she knew better. And so,
Better recognize.
what that mean? I'm not scared of no Norman.
Anyways, carry on. Little thought.
You see what I'm dealing with? I understand.
He loves me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always there. In the beginning, you know, it was different because we went from couldn't stand each other in the same house to being separated. You know, she had moved out, and it was just different. And like I said, I think I was just putting on a facade because it was just like, you know, I don't want, like, because I don't want to be mean to anybody, you know, but it set us up to hit a rewind button. We kind of rewinded, and the friendship came back, and I wasn't having no other way, you know, with the friendship aspect of it. It's my best friend, for real, and it's my rider, you know what I'm saying? I know with whatever I'm going through, she'll always be right there. She has already proven that, and she proves it still, you know, to this day. And I can talk to her about anything, you know, feelings, anything. Whereas I feel like before, I don't think I could have about everything, but it's just different now.
Yeah. Like, I hate that we have to go through it. Like, anything in life that's hard, you don't want to go through it. Like, nobody wants to go through heartbreak. Nobody wants to go through pain and suffering. But being the God-fearing, like, spiritual woman that I am, like, God, sometimes you have to go through those low points to realize, like, who God is in the grand scheme of things. And in going through their separation and nearly divorce, like, I realized that God is everything. Like, my brother passed, my twin brother passed when I was 15. my mother passed a week before my 21st birthday. And somehow the depth of my friendship and my marriage, like, was more of a struggle than those physical deaths of people I've known most of my life, you know, because I know that, like, there was nothing I can do about my brother passing. There was nothing I could do about my mother passing, but I failed in my relationship. You know, I failed in my marriage. So, like, I had to rely heavily on God. Like, God brought me and him back together. Like, God, look, I'll get to preaching, but God definitely showed up in the midst of it. And, like, you can't tell me that we were set to get a divorce, like, literally court, like, everything. And the day before, they said they were open, but then the day he went, they said they were closed. Like, right. That ain't nothing but God. And it's just like God had his hand in it. And, like, being a spiritual person, the number 7 is a number of completion. So we had to go through that. We had to die to our old selves. We had to die to our old relationship just had to die because we were so young. Mm-hmm. And we grew up together. Like, it was just death, moving, babies, just so much transitions. And it's just like, we didn't know how to show up for ourselves. So we couldn't show up for one another. And so...
so it was like we trying to learn each other, but we still learning ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, excuse me. We trying to learn ourselves. And so it ties into just... how can I tell you what makes me happy, makes me feel good, if I don't even know?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, as time went, I mean, during that time apart, it was like, okay, I know what I like. Like, this ain't what I like. Like, I know what I like. And luckily, I mean, she was still available.
I told him he better get his stuff together. And when he get his stuff together, he better hope that I'm still here. Luckily, I was still here for my baby.
But, you know, I mean, it's just, and I've been seeing and hearing this a lot lately. It's just a live and you learn type of thing. Am I glad that we went through a separation? No. Am I glad that it made us better though? Yes. Cause, we was rough on each other, you know. She could still be a little rough, but, you know, it's better than it was, you know what I'm saying? I know how to just...
No, he don't. That's me. I know how to... Because I told him respectfully, I ain't studying you.
Hey.
It go in this area out that one with love.
I'm an easy guy.
Mm. All right, y'all. That's enough of that.
It is tough.
He tripping. What? We have learned to navigate one another in a whole different way than what we used to. So it just makes it easier. Like, I tell him he makes me upset and I'm over it. He can sometimes express. He's still working on expressing fully, but he can sometimes express what I do to him and how I make him feel. So,
and to piggyback off what Bae just said about learning to navigate through each other, it used to be like, if I saw something was bothering her, I would not leave. Like, what's wrong? I think we talked about this in one of our videos as well. But as a refresher, you know, it's just like, what's wrong? Like, I know something wrong, just tell me. And, like, it wouldn't do nothing but make that problem just go from here to here. Now, if I see something wrong, I ask her one time, what's wrong with you? You all right? And she say, yeah. All right. And she'll come back, what I don't, what you know, but, you know.
No.
And brothers, you know, y'all can attest to that, too.
No, I don't do, I'm not, okay, sometimes I will do that, but for the most part, I tell him, I will be okay. I'll talk to you when I'm ready. I don't want to talk about it right now.
I just find it crazy that
something is wrong, yes, but I don't want to talk about it right now. And that's what I tell him. So I don't do that.
And like I said, what I do is I just leave it alone.
Sometimes I'll be like, okay, leave me alone.
Most of the time, I say before separation, it was probably like a 40% chance that I would leave her alone.
He would not leave me alone
because I wanted to know what was wrong. And after separation, leading up to now, I say it's about like a 95% chance that I will leave her alone. Now, sometimes I will be like, okay, what's wrong? Like, especially if I don't know what's really wrong.
The other day we were in a conflict, and I told him to leave me alone. But I want him to leave me alone about this specific thing. He took a shower, got out the shower. You still want me to leave you alone?
Well,
so he lunging.
Well, that's different though. I ain't just sitting there like, babe, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? You all right? Talk to me. Tell me. It was just like, you still don't want nothing to do with me? Shit, now I'm finna go get on the game.
Like, how long you want me to leave you alone for? I'm like, bruh, like.
All she had to do is tell me a time. Give me 3 hours. I'm on the game for 3 hours, and then I'll come back and talk to you.
Anyways, we want to do a follow-up because, like, we can talk to y'all for forever. But I know we still building a rapport with y'all. Yeah. So sometimes y'all not going to watch. We at 31 minutes. Sometimes y'all not going to watch those long videos. But if you're still here, we thank y'all for watching and sharing a part of our journey. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We are now on the road to 200 subscribers.
Whoop, whoop.
So go ahead and subscribe, like this video, comment, leave us a comment, and share it with your friends. Share it with people who may be dealing with separation or dealing with divorce or dealing with relationship problems, because we can help y'all.
So come back, y'all, because look.
Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next video of Haze and Haze. Until next time, we are out.
Holla at you.